and welcome to the Autumn Skies and Pumpkin Pies Hop. We're hoping to bring the beautiful colors, smells and feelings from autumn straight to your home or wherever you're joining us from. This is Video Hop and you will find the link to the next video in the description box. For today's video, I'm going to show you how to make some cute little homemade upcycled, recycled lanterns. So these are ones I've already made and they've dried, and I've decorated them a little bit as well. And what I've done is I've used a die cut to cut out a leaf shape, and then I have covered this was an olive jar, I think. I do like my olives. And just covered it in paint, very sort of coarsely, I'm not smoothing it out or anything. I've dipped my brush into the paint and just rubbed it up and down. You can see here in like the gold is sort of nice and shimmery there, just adding a nice full touch. And then once that was dry, I just added some twine. This is very sort of rough baker's twine around the top of this one. And then on this one, what I've done is I've done the opposite. So I've used the actual masking bit to create this leaf shape. And again, I've just gone in very sort of, not with any rhyme or reason, just very willy-nilly to kind of get a lot of texture and that gold in there. And then done the same with the twine at the top. And then these are filled with coffee beans. So when you then put your little tea light in there, you're going to get a nice little aroma. Not aromatherapy, but you're going to get a nice little aroma of coffee and just sort of... Okay, so you might not like coffee, but I like coffee and I really love the smell of coffee. So if you don't like coffee, this is obviously not going to work for you, but I like coffee. So once I put my little tea lights in there and light them, they're going to give up a very sort of subtle aroma. And I think that is just such a lovely fall smell or autumnal smell. So although I do drink coffee all year round, I'm not going to lie, but candles just work so well for like fall and winter. So this sort of thing you could easily do with snowflakes or snowmen or something like that. Just do white, silver and kind of like maybe a light blue to get that sort of snowy look. So what we are going to do now, we're going to get started. So I'm going to put these to the side and then we are going to start from scratch. I've got two smaller jars here and I'm going to use this little die cut from Concord and Knight, because this design here is too big for this jar. So we're going to go a size smaller. So this is the one we're going to use. And then we're just going to cut out of this masking film that shape right there. Right. So here we are. So I'll cut that right smack in the middle because obviously I'm going to use both this and this. So we're going to get a negative and a positive. Oh, there we are. So on the bigger one, we are going to use, or are we? Maybe the smaller one will be better. Yeah, let's use the masking on the smaller one. So just peel off the back carefully so you don't rip your design. And then we're going to place this, and then gently roll across like that. Although that, we might be able to get away with that. Okay, and then obviously smooth down all the sides to make sure you get very clean, crisp lines. We want clean and crisp lines. Okay, and with this one, we're going to just peel the backing off. Set that aside, and this is going to go maybe at a bit of an angle, like that. Okay, right, so we're ready. Now these, we are going to add color with some very, very cheap acrylic colors. I found these at, I think, Lidl while I was living in Poland. And they're cheap, no fuss, no muss, no sort of like super duper expensive stuff or whatever. You don't need expensive stuff for this kind of project. You just need acrylic colors in the colors that you want. And then I also have a bit of extra, this is gold, and this is another orange, because I really like this. This is actually called Coral, but I used to use this for carrots when I would do snowmen. And then we also have this cadmium deep red, or red deep. So this is another acrylic color, so it's kind of in between this red and that brown. And then of course an array of paintbrushes, because we're gonna go for a little bit of chunky looks and a little bit of smooth looks as well. So we're gonna get all that set up, and then we're gonna have some fun. Right, so we're gonna put down a piece of cardboard and to protect our work surface, and also use as like a palette. And then we're gonna get squeezing out on some colors and start to play. Right, so we're gonna set aside a paintbrush just for the gold, and then we're gonna start with, I think, a chunky one. So what I did before was just grab a little bit of paint from sort of the different blobs here, and then just gone up and down to create color. And we need to go quite thick, because you're gonna want it to sort of cover your bowl or glass jar as much as possible, so you get a nice sort of yeah, a nice coverage basically. So we're gonna mix a little bit here and there. There we are. If you want a really opaque covering, what you can do, of course, is go in with a first layer of whatever color. I will probably go a light one if you're gonna do a couple of layers, and then you go in, once that's dry, you then go in and kind of create your colorful look on top of that. Okay, and then we're going to add a little bit of the gold. Maybe I should have added a little bit more gold, but the fun thing with these is that if you're not happy with the results the first time around, you can just go back in and cover the whole thing again until you're happy. So I want a little bit more chunk, I think, around here. So, whoops. Of course, that was a gold bit that I managed to mess up, but oh well, there we are. Okay, so we're gonna let this sit and dry only while we're doing the little jar, and then we're gonna peel off the mask to make sure it doesn't dry too hard. And of course, oh, more gold first. There we are. Oh, and we need more yellow, because that added a really nice contrast. Okay, this time we're going to start with the darkest color, I think, as kind of a base layer. And then we're going to go in later and add more on top, I think, because I really do like this color. It's very lovely and rich red. One thing I did notice with this part was that I probably should have been less generous with the base layer and just kind of started making my pattern right away. It just I don't know whether it's because these colors are cheap or whether they're just not quite thick enough. I don't know, but I was finding it quite difficult to kind of get the look that I wanted. It could also have something to do with the paintbrush. I mean, this is a bit of a guessing game because I'm literally just trying things here to kind of see how it works out. Looks like a hot mess, right? But we are gonna peel this off now right away and then reveal the pattern underneath. And that is much better, isn't it? And this is gonna dry really nice and chunky as well. Ooh, it's almost like a puffy sticker. Love how that turned out. Can't wait to see what it looks like when it's dry. And setting that aside to dry, we're also going to peel off the mask on this one. And then of course, we're gonna set that one aside. Now, if you are joining the hop along the way, then of course you will know that the next person in the hop, the link to that video will be right at the top of the description box down below. And I hope you do take the time to watch all the videos because we do love your comments and your thumbs up. And if you aren't already a subscriber, I really hope you will find it in your heart to subscribe to my channels. I usually do make cards, but for this hop I decided to do some decor. If you click on the little bell, you will get notified every time I have a new video up on my channel. And you can also use the hashtag autumn decor to find all the videos in this hop if you need inspiration on what to do. Now that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed this little video. See you soon again.